Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is running into critical resistance, getting ready for the next major move as billions of dollars of liquidations are just about to happen, while a new warning signal is flashing in the short term for the price of Bitcoin, while Ethereum is getting closer towards the next major level of resistance, while Solana is moving towards the next major price target. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before getting into the Bitcoin charts today, taking a look at the Bitcoin news today, and on Friday we saw another massive net inflow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, this time around a net inflow of around 221.5 million US dollars. And so if we're taking a look at the numbers for this week, from Monday to Friday, every single day this week, we saw a net inflow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Obviously, on Monday, we saw that relatively small net inflow, but then on Tuesday, we saw a $100 million inflow. On Wednesday, we saw a massive inflow, over $300 million buying up Bitcoin through the spot Bitcoin ETFs. On Thursday, we saw a $250 million inflow. And on Friday, once again, we just saw over $220 million worth of net inflow. And so obviously with these decent sized net inflows coming into the spot Bitcoin ETFs over this last 1 week, there's no surprise why we saw a lot of bullish price action in the price of Bitcoin over this same time period, because once again, we saw a lot of new money coming into Bitcoin to buy up Bitcoin through the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which obviously helps to pump the price of Bitcoin. And in case you're new to all of this, the spot Bitcoin ETFs trade on the US stock market, and the stock market's closed over the weekend, which means the spot Bitcoin ETFs do not trade on the weekend. And with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today, looking at the 3-day time frame, and right now this hidden bullish divergence is still playing out exactly as expected, as I've been saying for a while now on the channel. And once again, a hidden bullish divergence, which is higher lows in the price and lower lows in the RSI, means we're most likely going to see a trend continuation. And of course, we were in a bullish trend leading into the divergence, which means we're likely going to see a continuation of the larger bullish trend further to the upside in the coming months. But as always, I have to explain that there's a difference between the different time frames. So for anyone that's new to all of this, you have to understand that even during these larger bullish moves, we can see short-term pullbacks every now and again. And so just because I'm very bullish on one time frame, like the larger time frames here, that does not necessarily mean bullish across all time frames, because once again, on small time frames, we can flip between bullish and bearish basically every single day, but that's on the small time frames, not on the larger time frames. And so for example, let's just say if there's a bearish signal on a smaller time frame like the 4-hour or 2-hour chart, that does not necessarily contradict the larger time frames because they are two completely different time frames. And with that being said, taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is obviously still looking bullish, as I've been saying every day since this exact low below $60,000, which is why I started to enter my long position, which I shared here on the channel when the price was below 60,000. And one of the main reasons why I've already been flipping bullish over the last couple of weeks here in terms of the larger moves in the market, or the trend here on the daily time frame, is due to the fact that we've seen a bearish reversal in the DXY. We've seen a major pullback in the DXY, which is a bullish reversal signal for Bitcoin, as we've seen time and time again. And so once again, as I've been saying, if we continue to see this pullback in the DXY, that is a continued bullish signal for Bitcoin in terms of the trend on the daily time frame, which once again can contain short-term pullbacks during a bullish trend. And if we're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin RSI, once again, as I've been saying every day over the last 2 weeks, this is already looking bullish. We've seen that breakout above this previous descending line of resistance, and now new higher lows and higher highs in the RSI, confirming a bullish reversal from a bearish trend into a new bullish trend. And if we're simply taking a look at the last couple of times that this has happened in the daily Bitcoin RSI, this previously happened just before a major move to the upside in the price of Bitcoin over the next few months or so. And so once again, in terms of the larger moves in the price of Bitcoin on the larger time frames, or the trend in the price of Bitcoin here, I am still very bullish, as I've been saying since this exact low right down here. But once again, on smaller time frames, we can see short-term bearish moves even during a bullish trend. So just keep that in mind. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart right now, obviously we are continuing the bullish breakout from this bullish falling wedge pattern that I've also been talking about for a long time now on the channel. But as of right now, we are actually running into short-term resistance, which is sitting in between around 67,000 to 68,000 based on this previous high. And so at least for now, until we actually confirm a breakout above around 68,000, there's still a possibility that we could struggle around this area of resistance, which means we could potentially see some sort of sideways consolidation or possibly some sort of rejection or pullback from that resistance. But once the price of Bitcoin eventually confirms a breakout above 68,000, then we're likely going to see a fairly quick move up towards the all-time highs, which is basically the next major area of resistance sitting in between 72,000 to 74,000, which is also the price target for this breakout for the falling wedge. But if we're zooming into the much shorter term here, on the 4-hour time frame, right now the price of Bitcoin is flashing a new bearish divergence with higher highs confirmed in the price action and lower highs forming here in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. And if we're looking at the last time this happened, we saw a short-term pullback over the next couple of days or so, and usually a bearish divergence, it basically means that we're losing bullish momentum in the short term. So usually a bearish divergence plays out in the form of either a sideways consolidation or a bit of a pullback over the next couple of days here on the 4-hour time frame, that is, as the most likely scenarios. But even if we see this short-term bearish divergence actually play out here in the short term, if we're zooming out to a larger time frame, that short-term bearish divergence playing out would only look something like that, for example, before we eventually continue on with the bullish trend, the larger bullish trend. And so once again, at least for now, it's possible we could struggle around this resistance or play out this short-term bearish divergence. So just keep that in mind. But ultimately, when we're looking at the bigger picture on the larger timeframes, we are still very bullish. And so when it comes to my Bitcoin trading strategy right now, I'm still currently long on the price of Bitcoin. Once again, as I've been sharing every day here on the channel since the price was below $60,000. And just yesterday, this was a 250k Bitcoin long position, but since my last video, I have taken a little bit more profits off the table. So at the time of recording this video, this is currently a 220k Bitcoin long position, as you can see on the left-hand side right there. But because this is an inverse perpetual trade, this actually pays out in Bitcoin. So when I'm selling the long position or taking profits from the long position, it pays out in Bitcoin. And so effectively, I'm just de-leveraging Bitcoin when I'm taking profits from this trade. And so what that means is when I'm taking profits, it is a win-win scenario. If the price dumps, I've already taken some profits, which is good news. But if the price pumps, first of all, I still have a lot of the long position remaining open, which would benefit from a pump. But also, even if I closed the entire position and the price of Bitcoin still pumped, because the position pays out in Bitcoin, I'm still holding Bitcoin, which is gaining value in US dollar terms if the price is pumping. So even if I close the entire long position, because it pays out in Bitcoin, I would still benefit from a pump, even if I closed the entire long, which obviously I haven't actually done. And so overall, when it comes to this trade right here, personally, I'm holding this as more of a swing trade, basically trading the larger move to the upside, kind of like what we saw back here or back here, for example. And so basically, I'll be holding this trade over multiple weeks, if not months. And already I have been holding this trade for roughly around 1 to 2 weeks now. But as I've also said here on the channel, at certain points of resistance or certain price targets along the way up, I will take some profits along the way. Because personally, when it comes to my trading strategy, as always, this is not financial advice because I don't know your personal financial situation. But when it comes to my trading strategy, personally, I scale into long positions or scale into positions in general and scale out of positions. And I do that instead of the alternative, which would be to wait for a specific price target to hit to enter the trade and then a specific price target to hit to exit the entire trade. And if you're doing that, what you are effectively doing is trying to time the perfect bottom and time the perfect top to open all at once and close all at once. And if you're doing that, honestly, that will end very badly over the long run. And so instead, once again, what I do is when I think the price of Bitcoin is approaching some sort of low or bottom and I'm looking to enter a long position, basically I scale my entries by having multiple buy orders at multiple levels. And so by doing that, I don't have to try and time the exact bottom or hit the exact bottom. I basically just have to scoop up that low, scoop up a lot of Bitcoin at those lower prices to trade that move to the upside. And then when it comes to exiting the trade, I have a similar strategy, but obviously in the opposite direction, with slowly reducing the size of the trade at specific levels to the upside as we go further and further to the upside. And so by doing that, if we, for example, crash right now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just for an example, let's just say if we crash right now and we fail to hit the full technical price target, in that situation, I've already taken some profits from that trade. But because I've not closed the entire trade, I've only taken some profits. I've only started to scale out of the trade. Because I still have a lot of the trade open, if the price continues to pump, I would also continue to benefit from that scenario. And so essentially my trading strategy is to minimize risk while maximizing returns. And as you can see here, it is indeed working, with this one trade right here netting over 27,000 in unrealized profits and over 10,000 in realized profits in less than 2 weeks. And if you also want to take trades just like this to make a lot of easy money in crypto, then make sure to check out this exchange which I'm trading on right now, which is Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit in the description down below and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive 200 USDT airdrop position just by making a Bybit account using that link down below this video, making a deposit and claiming this airdrop. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see billions of dollars of liquidity sitting right at around 67,500, going up towards around 68,000. And so once again, that's sitting right around this area of resistance that I just mentioned earlier, which means if we see a confirmed breakout above 68,000, we could quickly see a move up towards that all-time high area. Because basically, if short positions get liquidated, that adds buying pressure to Bitcoin, because whenever a short position closes, they have to buy back into the underlying asset. So in this case, Bitcoin, which pumps the price further to the upside. And so once again, at least in the imminent short term, there's still a possibility that this bearish divergence could play out, or we could still struggle around this area of resistance, at least just in the short term. But soon enough, when we eventually break out above 68,000, once again, we're likely going to see that next major move up towards the all-time high. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, right now the price of ETH is still bouncing from that exact Fibonacci level that I've been talking about here on the channel. And once again, that Fibonacci level of support sitting at around 2860 to 2870. And if we're taking a look at the daily time frame, we are also continuing to see a short-term bounce from this descending line of support for this potential falling wedge pattern, which is sitting at around 2850. And so right now the price is indeed approaching this line of resistance based on these previous highs, which is sitting at approximately 3220. And we also have some resistance at around 3260 and some more resistance at around 3350 based on this previous high. And so basically at the time of recording this video, we have not yet confirmed a bullish trend reversal for the price of ETH, unlike Bitcoin. But if we start breaking out above this resistance and ideally above this previous high, then we can start to become more confident that the price is actually flipping more bullish again after this short-term bearish trend. And for the time being, just in the short term here on the 8-hour time frame, we're still in this choppy sideways price range in between this area of support and this area of resistance. First of all, this area of support is sitting in between around 2850 to 2950, and this area of resistance is sitting in between around 3.2k to 3250, with more resistance once again at around 3350. But believe it or not, you can still make a lot of easy profits in choppy sideways price action just like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But first, taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, and right now this short-term bullish divergence is technically still playing out, but obviously the RSI on the 4-hour time frame is brushing against overbought territories. And so basically we are seeing a bit of a slowdown just in the imminent short term from this bullish divergence. And obviously as the price also approaches resistance, we could still struggle around these areas on the chart. So basically, even though this bullish divergence has not yet been invalidated, technically it is still active on the chart. I'd not necessarily expect it to play out much longer, especially as the price approaches this resistance, which is why I said earlier that we need to break out above this resistance and ideally above this previous high in order to become much more confident that we're actually reversing back in the bullish direction. And with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the 12-hour time frame, and since my last video, we've continued the bullish breakout from the bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern. And so first of all, around 2 days ago now on the channel, I said we were initially breaking out, but potentially invalidating the breakout. But obviously since then, we did not actually see a candle close well below 160, which I said 2 days ago here on the channel, we would have to confirm a break back below 160 to invalidate that breakout, which did not happen. And so as I said in my last video, we further confirmed this breakout, and what we are actually now seeing is a breakout above this previous area of support, which was acting as a bit of resistance right here. And that price range is sitting in between 167 to 172. And right now, once again, we've seen a 12-hour candle close above that area, and we've actually started to retest that area. And so far, we are finding support in that price range, which is good news. This is bullish price structure. And so as of right now, we are still heading towards this bullish price target, which I talked about over the last couple of days. And this bullish price target is still sitting at around $208 to $209. And so from the point of the breakout, if you took that trade, you would already be up around 8% with no leverage. And to the full technical price target, that's around a 30% move to the upside from the breakout. Or from where we are right now, as of recording this video, to that technical price target, that's still over a 20% move to the upside, which is still a possible trading opportunity that we could take. Because, for example, a 20% move in the price of Solana with a 5x leverage long position could basically double your money. That would be a 100% profit because it's 20% times 5x leverage. But as always, that is just an example, not personal financial advice. And in my situation, personally, I'm not actually taking this trade right here on Solana, even though it could be a decent trading opportunity. And the reason behind that is because I'm already very much long on Bitcoin. As I said in my last video, the crypto market usually moves together, which basically means if we see more bullish price action for Solana, it is very likely that we're going to see some more bullish price action for Bitcoin following Solana or vice versa. Which basically means if the price of Solana continues towards this bullish price target, it's likely that I would continue to benefit from this Bitcoin long position. And once again, if you want to trade the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you actually want to know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.